Welcome to lesson 2. This is the birth of numbers. Well, in the last session we talked about counting using pebbles in a bowl, and that it was a memory. Well, the problem there is that if something knocks over the bowl, you just lost your memory. It's kind of like turning the power off on your laptop. You've lost all your programs that were active at the time, and you've lost your memory. Now, in a setting where people are in agrarian societies, it's okay, I guess, to use the pebbles. But if you're a nomadic people, that is, you're people who travel from place to place on horseback, and you take your animals with you, the pebble method isn't going to work very well. One of the ways that the people who are nomadic could also use the one-to-one correspondence method, assuming they have a lot of animals, would be to use knots or beads in leather. They have lots of leather. They would cut leather strips, and they would put knots for every animal that they had. Indeed, they could use different color leather for different types of animals. If they had reindeer or they had sheep or whatever, this would be a method of counting. It's a one-to-one method, and it works very well. When you get a new animal, you just put another knot. When you have a celebration and you're going to eat one of those animals, just take a knot out. Whatever it is, this is how many people you have. There's no number. You can't say, I have 150, I have 8. You don't have that number. But this is how many you have. And you can always do an accounting, once a week or whatever. Make sure that you have the same number of animals as you have beads or knots. What happens now becomes interesting. We call this the caterer problem. Let's say now we're living very nicely and we have villages and people are getting married like crazy. Now, in the ancient days, when you get married, you're going to have a feast. What do you need for feast? You need animals. Not everybody has animals. We have what's called division of labor. So you go to the caterer and say, well, I need so-and-so. Now, the caterer is probably handling 3 or 4 parties this weekend. And he has people working for him. And he wants to tell his people, I want you to go into town and get so many sheep and so many whatever, lamb. The problem is, he doesn't have numbers either. So what does he do? He gives something like a string or, if you will, leather. And he has the one with the number of dots in it. He says, I want this many of whatever, cows or sheep. Somebody gets a bright idea. Listen, I'm going to put knots. And I'm going to put, for example, I'm going to have something with 3 nails on the wall. And I'm going to hang it. And that'll be great. And somebody said, okay, let's put a little symbol above the nail so we know right what we're looking at. So, oh, I want this many. And you give it to them. Those symbols above the nails, that's the genesis of numbers. That would be the genesis. What happens now is that these words represent a reference set. The bowl was a reference set of how many sheep you had. The knot, this is a reference set. It's a memory also. Now what happens is that we talk about number symbols. We have, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is German for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Spanish. In French, 1, 2, 3. 4. Now, what that means is that those are all symbols, sound symbols, and even written symbols, for the same idea. And that idea is this. 4 knots, 4 pebbles, 4 whatever. The word 4, in fact. All of these are avatars of this. So it's as though everybody lives in this house called the House of 4. And on the mailbox is the big number 4. We use the symbol 4. But inside that house is an infinite number of things, even maybe a rope with 4 knots in it, plus all the other symbols, plus 8 over 2, plus the integral between 0 and 4, dx. All of those are avatars, and they're the same thing as